Hello, you're watching Movie Snapshot Scenes, and this is the summary of The Matrix. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Around the year 2000, when the world is full of networks of control and knowledge that can't be seen, a man named Thomas Anderson has two lives. He works as a normal computer worker during the day, sitting in a grey cubicle and typing lines of code that don't mean anything to him. At night, he goes by the name Neo and is a digital ghost, a hacker who looks for the truth in the deepest parts of the internet. However, something has been keeping him up at night. After another strange message says, "Wake up, Neo," it shows up on his screen. Then it said, "The Matrix has you." Even though Neo doesn't know what they mean, he knows that his world isn't what it seems to be. He can feel a soft hum under the top of his life, like something that's always on but no one else sees it. His interest turns into a passion. He hears rumors about a strange guy named Morpheus. The government calls him a terrorist, but hackers call him a prophet. People say he knows what's really going on in the Matrix. Neo meets Trinity one night. He knows her name from hacker groups, but never thought she was real. She is calm, sure of herself, and moves like she has seen beyond this world. She leans in close and says, "It's the question that drives us, Neo. The nightclub is dark and full of people who aren't happy. What is the Matrix? Is the question you've been asking all your life." He feels something deep inside when she talks to him. She disappears into the crowd before he can answer. Neo's normal life starts to fall apart the next day. Men in black clothes who don't seem right come to his office. They don't show any feeling when they talk, and the air around them gets squished. "You've been living two lives, Mr. Anderson," their boss, Agent Smith, tells him in a cold voice. If he doesn't give up Morpheus, they say bad things will happen. Neo says no, though, and things start to go wrong. The agent's influence doesn't seem natural or even human. Neo finally meets Morpheus in a building that is quiet, wet, and the walls seem to be buzzing with static. He can pick between two pills, one red and one blue, says Morpheus. The story ends when you take the blue pill. You choose what to think when you wake up in your bed. You choose to stay in Wonderland and take the red pill. I will show you how far down the rabbit hole it goes. Neo isn't sure. The room stops moving. He finally takes the red pill. A short time later, his world falls apart. The walls shake, the mirrors melt, and Neo's body shakes. He wakes up in a different place, hairless and naked, in a pod full of liquid. Around him, rows and rows of people sleep in machines that look exactly like his. Their bodies are fed through tubes. The fantasy is broken. He was living in a lie. Neo wakes up for the first time when he screams. Neo gasps for air as he breaks through the red liquid surface. With a hiss, the pod around him opens, and cold mechanical arms pull the wires out of his body. He shakes his head and looks around. Towers go on forever, filled with pods like his, each with a person sleeping inside. The sky is pitch black, and lightning flashes across it, showing a dead world. He is hit by the truth, like a wave. People aren't living, they're being gathered. He is pulled out of the pod by a machine that grabs him by the neck and drops his weak body down a chute into fast-moving water. He falls, lost and without weight, until a light breaks through the clouds. A metal and humming ship floats in the air. He is pulled inside by arms that reach out. Neo opens his eyes again to find himself lying in a hospital bed with pale light all around him. His muscles are twitching all the time. His body is full of tubes and needles. "Welcome to the real world," Morpheus says in a deep voice as he stands next to him. Neo tries to talk, but his throat hurts. His body feels strange. It's weak, heavy, and shaking. He asks, "Why do my eyes hurt?" Morpheus gives a small smile. "You haven't used them before." Over the next few days, Neo's body will heal itself. His muscles are worked out by machines, and his nerves are reconnected. He gets back on his feet. The ship, the Nebuchadnezzar, is alive with activity all around him. Its team is small but sharp. Trinity is quiet and fierce, and Tank and Dozer are the operators who show them around the digital world. Epoch, Switch, and Sci-Fi are the others, and each of them has scars from the life they left behind. The Morpheus tells us that the Matrix is really a neural simulation and a jail for the mind. He tells her, "The world you lived in was a lie, made to rule you over and change you into this." He shows Neo a charger made of metal. A person is used as a source of energy. At first, Neo doesn't believe it. It hurts his stomach. He says, "That's impossible." However, Morpheus links him to the ship's main system, and Neo's mind goes into the construct, a white, endless place where anything can be programmed. Around him, screens show the burned sky and endless fields of human pods. He tells them, "Welcome to the desert of the real. Too much truth." Neo falls to the ground, shaking and yelling, "No! That's not true." His mind is blown by the loss of everything he thought was real, and he passes out. Triplet is there for him when he wakes up. She says in a soft voice, "When we first woke up, we all felt the same." Her eyes get softer. "You'll learn though. You'll get stronger." Neo starts training with Morpheus watching over him. He learns how to fight, balance, and control things in fake settings. He gets more angry and driven every time he fails. He has one burning question. What can he really do now that he's free if everything he thought he knew was a lie? He tells him that the answer is not in his body, but in his mind. The next morning, Neo wakes up to the faint sound of machines and metal moving on the ship. Even though his body still hurts, he feels curious instead of tired. Morpheus is waiting for him in the training room. He is standing still with his hands behind his back. He tells Neo, "You've been living in a dream world. Time to find out what your mind can do." Tank, who runs the ship, smiles as he enters data into the computer system. He makes a joke as he slides a metal jack into Neo's head. "First time for everything," he says. Neo's eyes suddenly get very big, and a lot of knowledge starts to flow through his brain at once. His body shakes as he gasps. As the upload stops, he says in a shocked whisper, "I know Kung Fu." The Morpheus smiles. "Show me." They go into the construct, which is a virtual classroom that is lit up with golden light. The floor is made of bamboo mats and the air is tense. Neo is ready. He is barefoot and his muscles are moving. He sees Morpheus, who is as calm as a monk. He says, "This is a sparring program. It's not about your muscles. It's real in your mind." Neo attacks first, but Morpheus easily stops all of his attacks. Neo's attacks are clumsy and uncertain. The fight gets stronger and faster. Neo learns how to move as a thought instead of a person. He gets back up faster after each fall. His timing gets better with each punch. Finally, he surprises Morpheus and makes him take a step back. The group cheers as they watch on monitors. Even so, Morpheus just smiles. "When you breathe in, do you think that's air?" Neo felt the words like lightning. He figures out that there are no limits in the simulation, just the ones he sets for himself. He starts to break the rules for the first time. Our next program is the jump program. Neo stands on the roof of a building while the wind howls all around him. The Morpheus jumps over a huge space between two towers and lands elegantly on the other side. He tells her, "Free your mind." Neo takes deep breaths, runs, and jumps. He flies for a moment before landing hard on the street below. He is scared by the hit, but he laughs. It feels different to fail here too. The training keeps going. Neo learns how to run along walls, avoid weapons, and fight 10 guys at once. But doubt keeps him from going forward, no matter how hard he tries. After that, Sci-Fi leans toward him while the group eats together. You'll see. The real world gets boring after a while. There are people who would do anything to get back. It sounds like he's angry in his tone. Neo doesn't answer, but the thought stays with him. That night, Trinity comes up to him. Her eyes are calm and strong in a quiet way. She says, "Morpheus thinks you're the one. He's always been right." Neo nods his head. "All I want to do is figure out what's real." Trinity gives a small smile. "You're." Neo closes his eyes in the light from the ship's screens. There is less and less difference between what is real and what is imagined. And somewhere deep inside, a spark of inspiration is ready to be lit. When you train, the storm calms down. Neo has run across roofs and through concrete for days and learned how to break the rules of a world that isn't real. The question that started it all, what is my place in all of this, is the only thing he can't silence. Morpheus knows the answer, but he can't give it. He says, "There is only one person who can tell you who you are. We are going to see the magic oracle." As they walk into the matrix, the sky is the color of old glass. The city is quite like someone has held their breath. Trinity walks beside Neo, her presence steadying him. Her face is hidden behind dark glasses, so we can't see what she's saying. The car drives through streets that are wet from the rain and stops in front of an old brick building that looks like it's been there for hundreds of years. The air inside has a faint smell of smokes and sugar. In the hall, a boy bends a spoon in Neo's thoughts and gives him the handle. The child says in a whisper, "Don't try to bend the spoon. That's not possible. Try to understand the truth instead." Neo goes along with it because he is still interested. What is the truth? The kid smiles. There's no spoon. There's a woman in a cardigan waiting in the kitchen. She looks like she's just making cookies, which makes it seem like she's not doing anything important. She reads Neo like an old book that has been worn down. She tells him, "And don't worry about the vase." He jumps and bumps into the table, which causes a vase to fall and break. Neo stops moving. "How did you?" She gives a shrug. "What will really bake your noodle later is, would you have broken it anyway if I hadn't said anything?" Even though his chest hurts, he laughs. She points to a small wooden sign above the entry that says, "Temet Nosha," know yourself. She teases, "You're cuter than I thought." Then she gets serious. "What I'm going to say, though, you already know." The room seems to fold in on itself. Neo breathes out, "I'm not the one." The words taste like both failure and relief at the same time. The Oracle doesn't say anything. "Sorry, kid. Perhaps in a past life, or maybe you need to wait for something." She gives him a cookie that is as hot as his heart. "When you're done, you'll feel great. Remember that Morpheus has so much faith in you that he will die before he lets you fail. You can choose between him and me." The forecast hits Neo like a stone in water, sending waves through his mind that get bigger. In the hallway, Trinity looks him in the eye. For a split second, he sees her without the lenses, soft and scared for him. She asks, "What did she say?" He lies for no reason. "I would figure it out." When the elevator doors close on their images, the city lets out a breath. It's no longer raining outside. The sound of footsteps can be heard as the crew moves down a narrow hallway. There is a black cat pawing across the floor. Neo sees the same cat do the same thing again a second later. It's a perfect loop. He says, "Deja vu." The word makes Trinity's face look pale. "What did you say?" The group stops moving. Neo says, "A black cat. It walked by, and then it did it again." Deja vu is usually caused by a bug in the Matrix, Switch says in a low voice. When they change something, it does happen. Walls keep out water. Windows turn into bricks over time. The stairs turn around and end in a dead end. The building turns into a cage, and the air is thick with the electric smell of violence. Morpheus takes off his glasses and measures the angles of escape that are no longer there. Trinity says in a whisper, "Agents." Neo can feel the prophecy getting tighter around his chest. He hears the Oracle say, "You must choose." Morpheus moves forward, cool as a blade. He says, "We're out of time. Just do what I say." The trap closes with a snap. The future moves faster. Deep down, Neo feels afraid, but something in him leans toward the edge. The hum of the Nebuchadnezzar can be heard through the ruins of a city that no one remembers. Neo has been working harder, and every day his control inside the Matrix gets better. He can move and respond faster and bend the digital world in ways that don't make sense. But there is still question, even though he has made progress. It's possible that Morpheus has too much faith in him. As he stands by the window one night, Morpheus tells him, "You're starting to believe." Outside, the faint red glow of the machines can be seen. You won't have to soon. Neo will soon learn, though, that trust can be risky. The team doesn't know it yet, but Sci-Fi has already made up his mind. What used to make him angry has turned into hatred. Hatred for the cold, broken real world, the bland food, and the despair in the air. He dreams about the ease he lost, the thought of steak and wine, and the lack of knowledge he used to take for granted. The Matrix wasn't a jail to him. It was heaven. Late at night, Sci-Fi secretly links to the Matrix while everyone else sleeps. He is sitting across from Agent Smith in a fancy diner lit by candles. He holds a red-lit wineglass in his hand. "Do you know what I understand?" "Yum," Sci-Fi says, taking a steak bite. To know nothing is bliss. He does what he says. He wants to be put back into the Matrix as rich, popular, and clueless as before he betrayed Morpheus. Smith's only answer is a cold smile. The deal has been made official. After a few days, Morpheus takes the team back into the Matrix. They are following an odd signal that is coming from near an empty building. Neo doesn't feel safe. Lately, his dreams have been darker, with flashes of betrayal, screams and falling skies. He doesn't say anything though. Something doesn't feel right as they walk down the halls. The setup is too clean and the signal is too good. Suddenly the air starts to move. Smith and his two partners show up as agents, walking through the walls like ghosts. Things go off. The glass breaks. The crew breaks up and runs for cover. Sci-Fi's voice crackles over the radio, and his tone sounds like he's in a fake panic. "Go! Let them go!" But he pulls the plugs instead of pulling them to safety. The crew's bodies start to twitch fiercely one by one in the real world. Their minds were killed right away. In the Matrix, those who are still alive are on the run. The spies are faster than Trinity and Neo, who drag Morpheus into an old office building. Smith crashes through a wall and keeps his cold face the whole time. He is tackled by Morpheus through a door, which gives the others time. He yells, "Run!" before being caught. When Sci-Fi gets back to the ship, he kills Tank and Dozer, and then disconnects all of his friends with a mean laugh. He sneers. "If I have to pick between this dump and the Matrix, I'll pick the Matrix." But before he can finish betraying them, Tank rises from the dead and kills them with a blast of electricity. The ship stops talking. He is no longer there. The group is not working right. Neo is shocked and feels terrible about what he did. He finally gets it. Freedom isn't just staying alive. It takes effort. No one can be heard on the Nebuchadnezzar. The crew is sad about their deaths, and the flickering lights of the ship show how unsure they feel. The agents have caught Morpheus and plugged him back into the Matrix. They are now searching through his mind for the codes to Zion, the last city for humans. People will die if they succeed. Neo stands alone and looks into the control room's dim lights. His image in the monitor glass changes, going back and forth between doubt and determination. Neo says in a low voice, "He believed in me." Trinity stands across the room from him and speaks in a steady, soft voice. "He did it because he liked you. I see it too." After a short time, Neo looks at the team. He says, "We're going back. I'm going to show him." Tank looks at him like he's crazy because he is pale and tired. He says, "No one has ever gone against the agents to save someone." Neo says right away, that's why it will work. Neo is no longer afraid, even though the plan is dangerous and might even be suicide. He feels strangely calm now, like the world has already slowed down to let his thoughts take over. Trinity really wants to go with him. She loads her gun and says, "I'm not letting you go alone." He gives a nod. They connect. There are a lot of grey buildings and never-ending rain in the city inside the Matrix. Neo and Trinity are very quiet and move very quickly, like ghosts. They storm the entrance of a government skyscraper where Morpheus is being held. They wear black coats and dark glasses to hide their faces. When the guards fire, the bullets tear through the marble columns. Neo doesn't move though. He ducks, turns, and flows through the storm of lead as if the air itself obeys him. Time bends around him. It's beautiful and dangerous how Trinity moves next to him. Soon, there are a lot of dead guards on the floor, and alarms go off all over the building. They get to the roof. There's a roar from above, and the fan blades cut through the rain. Neo's eyes get harder as he learns to read the code. Neo fires when the agent shows up, avoiding impossible counterattacks. The agent jumps into a different person, and the system tries to erase him. Neo changes more quickly though, and then he jumps into the chopper, grabs the gun that's on the back, and shoots through the windows of the high-rise building where Morpheus is being held. A shower of light comes out of the broken glass. Morpheus gets away from his chains and runs quickly toward the broken window. He jumps out into the open and falls through the wind and chaos. Neo swings from the chopper and catches him with a cable as he falls. The rescue is a miracle. It's the first time that Morpheus looks at Neo with faith instead of hope. "He's getting awake," he says in a whisper. Tank cheers as he pulls them out of the Matrix and back to the ship. But Neo doesn't say anything because he is thinking. He knows this is just the start. We are seeing changes in the agents, and the battle between fiction and truth is far from over. Someone puts their hand on his shoulder. Being aware of the path is not the same as walking it. Neo gives a nod. He now really thinks he can do it for the first time. The storm outside the Nebuchadnezzar is as strong as the beating of a machine. Neo stands in the middle of everything and feels the weight of everything that has happened. The pain, the loss, and the truth. He had doubts about Morpheus's prediction for a long time. He thought he was just a man who was stuck between two worlds. But since he was saved, something has changed inside him. It doesn't feel like a jail anymore in the Matrix. "I feel like it's hard." The ship's bells go off. Sentinels are getting closer. They look like metal snakes hunting through the tunnels. Tank yells from the command center. They have minutes to get here. Neo is seen by Morpheus. He tells her, "You need to go back. That's what the Oracle told me, not what you wanted to hear. You are the one." Neo only thinks for a second before nodding. "Let's get this done." He connects. The world inside the Matrix looks different now. It's sharper, slower, and full of code. Neo and Trinity run through streets that are empty and noisy with chatter. They are being chased. Suddenly, the phone they need to leave starts to ring in a building far away. Trinity is the first to go, and in a flash of white light, it's gone. Neo stays behind to protect her, but Agent Smith comes out of the shadows, steady and cool, just as Neo turns around. Smith calls out, "Mr. Anderson!" His voice is smooth and mean. "We've been missing you. Neo does not reply. He puts up his hands. The fight goes through glass, concrete, and walls. Smith moves very quickly and accurately, but Neo's body responds faster than his mind can think. Every punch he throws bends the air, and his every move is based on feeling. Smith keeps coming though. Neo keeps getting up even after the agent throws him through walls and across streets. The wounds on his face are fresh, but the fire in his eyes is now understanding. His fight against the Matrix is over. He's fighting inside it. Smith points his gun at Neo and shoots, but Neo avoids the bullets well. The bullets move very slowly and hang in the air in front of him. He looks at them and then just raises his hand. They stop. The code bends to his will. Tank yells over the radio, "Neo, the exit is ready! Now go!" Neo runs away, but 2 agents are after him. At the end of the street, the phone box lights up. But Smith shows up again and empties his gun before he can get there. Neo jumps and chest is shot through. The phone keeps ringing next to him while he falls down. Back on the ship, Trinity whispers to his dead body as tears run down her face. "The angel told me I would love the one, and I do. I love you." She leans in close and her words are shaking. "Now stand up." Neo's heart starts to beat again in the Matrix. His eyes are open and bright with awareness. Things change in the world. He can see that walls, air, and agents are all made of green code that flows. Neo doesn't move when Smith charges him. The agent stops moving when he just raises his hand. Neo moves towards Smith and jumps into his body. As the agent breaks apart inside, light fills the streets. Neo takes deep breaths and feels relaxed and new. He's not just living, he's free. He uses a phone line to call the machines. "I will show them a world where anything is possible without you." After that, he takes off into the sky. The one has come to life.